Is it possible for Mahoraga to lose an adaptation? Let's talk about it, but spoilers beware. All right, first of all, shout out to Lol Dude for the question today. And nonsense, my friend, this is not a dumb question because there is so much nuance when it comes to the Tin Shadows and Mahoraga that it can get confusing. So let's break this down. And first of all, can Mahoraga lose an adaptation? Well, some people think so because some people think that Mahoraga has a finite number of things that he can adapt to. And a lot of people think that it's 8 things because there's 8 prongs on the Dharma Chakra wheel. But people are just pulling that out of a hat. There is nothing that points to that. And in fact, I think it's clear that Mahoraga can adapt to an unlimited number of things, given the language that he can adapt to any and all phenomena. If he could only adapt to 8, that would be spoken about and it would have been used in strategies against Mahoraga, right? But no, there's no limits on what he can adapt to. So, can he lose an adaptation? No. But also, yes, kind of, depending on how we're looking at this, because Mahoragas do not retain adaptations between Tin Shadows users or between ritual summonings. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Megami told us that no one had ever tamed Mahoraga in the history of the Tin Shadows before, meaning every time it was summoned by Megami or a previous Tin Shadows user, it was a ritual summoning, the summoning you do in order to tame him. And obviously that had happened countless times in the past, right? Mahoraga has probably killed innumerable Tin Shadows users. And in those fights from the past, Mahoraga would have clearly adapted. And yet, when Megami summons his Mahoraga in Shibuya, that Mahoraga does not come packaged with those previous iterations' adaptations. So in a way, it lost those adaptations. But you could also think of this as just like an entirely different Mahoraga. Now, an interesting question would be, would a tamed Mahoraga keep adaptations between summonings? And this we don't know, and we'll never know because Mahoraga died after being tamed by Sukuna. But just hypothetically, let's say the Mahoraga didn't die and, Sukuna desummoned him to use him later. If 5 years down the road he resummoned that Mahoraga, would he still be adapted to infinity or would he have to relearn it? We don't know. But really, I think the heart of Lol Dude's question is, could Mahoraga lose an adaptation mid-battle? And the answer to that is no, even though I'm sure some of you have seen the funny memes about Yujiro running into Mahoraga and forcibly spinning the wheel backwards in order to de-adapt him. Cool idea in theory, but not realistic. Unless, of course, Takaba found that funny.